I can't remember the last day I didn't do something cat-related. I trap cats, I foster cats, I take them around to appointments, and I do colony caretaking for a bunch of outdoor cats too. I mean, it literally feels countless. My name's Nora Jossam, and I use they, them pronouns. And I've been rescuing cats since 2021. I can just kind of like dive into like what cat rescue means, because I think that is kind of a like funny nebulous term. When we find cats on the street, they're usually some form of feral or friendly. That's definitely a spectrum. It's not hard and fast, and it's definitely not a binary. There are a couple different pathways we have for cats that we find outside. So one of the main ones is something called TNR, which is trap, neuter, return. So for feral cats, what that means is we'll go out with traps, because they often won't let you kind of just like pick them up and put them in a carrier, otherwise they wouldn't be feral. Get them spayed and neutered, and give them kind of baseline vaccinations. And then we'll send them along their merry way once they've kind of had their full recovery. The other part that happens when we TNR cats is that we always do what's called an ear clip to say this cat already has been TNR'd. For friendly cats, on the other hand, we'll always try to kind of fully put them through the rescue process, which means we pick up the friendly cats, get them into carriers, bring them indoors, really assess where they're at socially, and then find them a foster placement. The adoption process can take a while, and vetting for a friendly cat is a little bit more thorough. All right, here's Frisbee. He is a handsome dude. For a while now, I've kind of been trying to hone in on how much I'm actually spending on rescue, which is something that I haven't acknowledged to myself or others. And I think last time I said it's my biggest expense besides rent. I think I will retract that and say that it is a bigger expense than rent for me. Yeah, pretty easily, actually.
You got it, Frisbee.
Like, I don't buy your bribery. There's no subsidy, really. There's no voucher system. There's no low-cost option through the city. And as far as animal welfare goes, that's a huge problem, because it's a handful of people who are crazy enough to put their own money on the line for this hobby. And none of us are paid for this, you know? Like, I mean, unless you can really amass a following online and make this your whole livelihood, we're not making money on this, and we're not covering our costs. That's a new one. Who are you? It's so funny because like I think in most cases someone like sees a friendly cat on the street and they're like, oh, like so exciting, so great. It's like when I see a friendly cat on the street, I'm like, oh no. So sweet and purring. Oh no. This is a new cat to me. Okay, so I'll go home and get a carrier quick. She didn't have an ear tip. She had like a kind of a goopy eye, super skinny. You could feel her hip bones. It really has that feeling of like, oh, I know I should do something. So like, I have to do something. It's also really, really, really hard to say no. And I think that's a big element I'm working on. And there are just times when I simply won't say no.
There you go. Blink that in.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe my feeling right now as burnout, but I can see the burn, feel the heat from the burn. I mean, everything's accelerated extremely quickly, is how it feels. In our care right now, you know, eventually to be adopted, we have 20. Yeah, it's way more than I want to be responsible for, even if I'm sharing that in some cases. When it comes to the big picture, Rhys is much better at having under control what can we manage, what can we handle.
A lot of cat rescuers, it's not really a partnership thing. It's mostly just one person doing it, and then a supportive partner who's also like, I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's cool that Nora and I are both involved. Mostly help Nora like on the back end of stuff, so I do a lot of like social media content stuff. You know, seeing Nora like making such a big impact, and like I just want to help them and have a good quality of life, because it is like so much high pressure stress. But yeah, and I've kind of always wanted to try the socialization thing. To me, that is the most my speed. I mean, you chill with a cat, you hang out, it's low commitment. So Kelpie, yeah, came to us because Nora was kind of encouraged to bring her in. But yeah, Kelpie came to me. Nora was joking like, I'm gonna TNR because I can't bring her in. And I was like, well, maybe I could socialize her. She's so cute. It's been so rewarding to see her growing so quickly. And she's a kitten, so the process is not as challenging, you know? Of course, if it was like an older cat, or, you know, they're feral for much longer. I mean, like a large part of me feels like, you know, psycho for like doing this and like capturing them. It feels like you're kind of kidnapping them, right? But I think when she's like playing, it feels a little bit better. So it was cool to see her do that yesterday. The shift of like, oh wait, pets fucking rock, you know, is like incredible. And it's all on them, you know, it's all their turn. She's just like grown so much, you know, the past couple weeks, so I'm sure in like 2 more weeks she'll be like ready to rock and roll, you know? Or stay here forever. Just kidding.
What Rhys is doing with Kelpie, that's like essentially like therapy. You know, it's play therapy, it's treat therapy. And I do think that is incredibly rewarding. I'd trapped her and seen how sort of like stunned and bewildered and scared she was. You find a cat and you get the care it needs, and then it can live a full and happy life. And that's a really like gorgeous thing to see. Once you get those moments, you're like, oh yes, like this is what it's about.
You're such a good girl.
For me, it feels like I don't want to tap out. Like I genuinely don't want to tap out even when I'm feeling burnt out. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's part of investing in like the world around you and the immediate kind of hyper-local world around you. The city is a hard place to live, and I think there's a lot of suffering for both people and non-humans, and I think like anything we can do to ease that, yeah, builds us up.
Right. Right.